Go ahead, Dr. Williams.
Hi everyone. Today I'm so glad to be on Lupus Talks. I hope all are doing well. Today we have a special guest. We're going to be talking about caregiving. The special guest is my co-host Dolores Olson, and she's going to be talking about she's in a vital role taking care of her mother. In the show, we will discuss various topics related to caregiving for all individuals, especially those with lupus. This includes the emotional and physical challenges caregivers face, strategies for effective caregiving, resources available for support, and personal experiences shared by our guests. Additionally, we may discuss how to maintain self care as a caregiver. Dolores Olson, I'm going to let you take the floor when I'm going to be asking you some questions. Dolores, you there?
Hello, everybody. Welcome today. This is a very beautiful topic because one thing, and it's very important that we should all be informed about being a caregiver because caregiving is a blessing. It's a blessing when you're able to take care of somebody else, no matter what shoes you are in, because it's all fields of caregivers. There's some that they still work and they're disabled, but they still work, and they still continue to do their caregiving position. And there's some that doesn't do it, but this is going out to all who are caregivers. And so, one thing about being a caregiver, it's a lot of responsibility. That's number one. It's a lot of responsibility because you have to, when you're a caregiver, you have to observe everything with your client, right? Their conditions, they may have a special diet. You got to probably keep up with their medications because they're not, some able or not to remember what hours to take their medicine. And it takes a lot. It's a lot of work, but like I said, that it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be a caregiver. So as being a caregiver in my shoes, I'm talking about right now, is uh, uh as well as my responsibilities and stuff like that with being a caregiver, right? And that it can be
Challenging.
yeah, at times it can be challenging. Of course it can be challenging in any fields like this because the reason why is because you're dealing with caring for others, and as well we know we got to care for ourselves too as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
So it's both in both, but you're caring for somebody else too. And like I said, that I love it being a caregiver. I love it. It's a blessing to be one, to be able to take care, like I take care of my mother, and uh, and then another one too. I will be having another case. So there's two of them. So two of them
And
involved. So
you took care of me with lupus when I had that knee replacement.
oh yeah, yes. I also took care of my cousin back in the days. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that being a caregiver to her too, in which I said it's a beautiful feeling. I had of course, my cousin, of course she was challenging because she had a lot of ups and downs with it. She was hurting and stuff, so that is quite understandable. So you gotta feeling in their shoes when they're in a certain situation. You got to be that compassion person. You got to have that love and
Yes.
compassion.
Yes, I agree.
For us being a caregiver, because that's just like if you are a nurse or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing. Responsibilities as for your clients, right? For your
Mm-hmm.
patients and stuff. And so and you got to understand. It takes a lot of understanding. I know at times you probably say, "Oh, I feel like pulling my hair," right, or something like that. But but then in the end of the day, then you say, "Nah, they can't help to be that way,"
Well,
But
that's the
sometimes,
question. That's the question I was going to ask you. How can caregivers maintain their own well-being, and what resources are available for caretaker support?
oh, good. That's a good question. For your well being, in that number one, you want to make sure you're healthy. So take care of yourself. That's number one. And then number two, with that part,
The support.
you gotta make sure that you be supported. You be supported towards your client. That's very, very important. You know, you gotta be supported because you're the caregiver in that. If there's no support in that, you could lose your opportunity, you know,
That's
because
right.
they felt uncomfortable. They say, hey, this person's not very caring and that, and we're supposed to be as caregivers, very caring, understandable, hold their hand and say everything's gonna be okay, you know, and but it's a big challenge. Now resources and stuff like that. You can Google a lot of things on stuff that needed to, and you can also
Mm-hmm.
ask
Mm-hmm.
doctors too. They give you like information, little flyers for certain things. So maybe you're dealing, let's say if you're dealing with a person that's diabetic or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
so they with special the special needs of doing that, right, and stuff. So you ask, say, oh, do you have any guides for the diabetes so I know how to balance this a person's
Mm-hmm.
diet right and that, so they're doing the right. Of course, you're following by the doctor's rules, but you want to make sure that you get the knowledge that you need about caring for a diabetic person, because if you accidentally do something, yeah, you're failed. So
How,
you don't
how,
want to do that.
I have another, excuse me, I'm sorry. How does caregiving impact family dynamics?
Well, as being a caregiver and that, and especially it could be like you caregiving for your own family and that, it can it just depends on the person, and where they at. There's some of them it can make them emotional at times, but I know they have to play that role of keeping quiet, being calm and that. But later at the end of the day, some caregivers seem to break that because they know it's a big responsibility, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yes.
not saying that they don't like their field. It's just that it's a lot of timing.
What are the, I should say, what are the indications that a caregiver might need help? What are the signals?
Oh, that's a good question. Good question. It could be anything. They could be needing help with. They can't, but they're probably not able to vacuum. They're not able to even change themselves. Clean up themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and house cleaning. Anywhere where they at required by whatever field they are required where they're getting the pay from.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, because they're gonna need a lot of help. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
sometimes some of them need help with doing their hair too, and
Mm-hmm.
so you gotta be in there too to help them with the do
Yes.
their hair, because that some of them cannot reach up to do their hair like they used to. They don't have enough strength, and you don't want their hair to be knotted up
Well, you
because
can
if you
speak on behalf of the African American community. How do different cultures view caregiving? Have you talked about that in your group, or is that something you can relate to? I know you can relate to it as an African American, but can you relate to it in other nationalities?
Yeah, there's different fields. Yeah, African American, no different than any other field. But
Mm-hmm.
there's some in tradition. They're probably very stricter, and
Mm-hmm.
more strict. It just
Mm-hmm.
depends on the family, because there's some of them you got the real head of the family say, oh no 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 no, you're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
this, you know
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, well, ma'am, I have to do this according to this, but if you don't want me to do it, then I won't do it.
Absolutely. How has
Yeah.
technology changed the caregiving landscape? How has technology changed the caregiving landscape? Can you speak on that?
Well, I know for times have changed too, because I remember back in the days, caregiving, and they only limited it to certain things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
only probably it could have been like three things was on the list. That's it.
pencils and
Uh,
pads and not
yeah.
computers, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, all that. They didn't have, because back in the days didn't have that kind of technology.
Mm-hmm.
And then now
Mm-hmm.
we have that technology of
Mm-hmm.
computers. And then now everything is electronic. It used to be paperwork, but now they want to save the environment. So they're throwing out paperwork some places. And I believe
Mm-hmm.
it probably will be all over
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for that. For everybody's doing computer. Because
Absolutely.
the new millennium is all computers.
Absolutely. This I might be able to answer as well. What role do government policies play in supporting caregivers? Well, that's a new thing for them now. They are starting to look at caregiving and how important it is because there's so many people that in the nursing they want to let all the people. I heard this is just alleged, leave the nursing homes and the children take care of them. Now there was something online saying they would give them $72,000 if they would care give their mom, their dad, their relatives. I don't know if that's true or not. I just read that. And, things can just get unwind and add. But I think dealing with the policies, I think that the policy changes, the government policies play an effective, an important role in supporting caregivers because the hospitals, the convalescent homes can't do it. They can't do all of that. And insurance is short, as you know. Insurance plays out as well, so they have to go somewhere. Do you agree?
Yeah, yeah, actually, that's true. That's true. Because certain insurances nowadays they're knocking down certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes,
So that
yes.
is true.
Yes, yes, that's so important. So the government is going to have to step in and play a part. I'd like to see that, and I'm going to keep following that with the government, with the government and the policies with that. Can you share some success stories of effective caregiving within your own realm, within your own world, I should say?
I tell you one thing, I said it's been a blessing. Like I said, it's a blessing. And especially too to get the time too, especially when you get to know when you really know them and stuff and how we laugh, we travel together and make each other laugh.
Hmm.
Like my mama calls me Queen Hot Flash. Yeah, and I think that's the cutest things. And
Hmm.
then she'll say little things like I have certain problems and stuff, but she'll say little things, just cute things like, "Oh, look at there, you got an extra hip there." So that's cute. I think
Uh-huh,
that's the
uh-huh,
cutest thing when we
uh-huh.
can sit there and laugh about a life, even though that our conditions. And then I look at her and say, "Okay, mom, behave yourself now."
Hmm. Hmm. She's very lively, huh?
Yes,
I
yes, and
know
that's
that.
the and
Yeah.
that's the fun thing, when you can share them up in that and in their shoes that they're in, and you
Does,
share your client in that.
does it make a difference because that person that you are caregiving is your mom rather than someone that would be, someone that would not be your mom? Do you think that makes a major difference in caregiving?
Well, any caregiving field, it could not be even related or that. You should always comfort your client,
Hmm.
because find out something that they enjoy. If they enjoy laughing at something, laugh
Hmm.
with them. If
Hmm.
they enjoy
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
nice joke, they're gonna say a little nice joke,
Hmm.
Cause I used to do also caregiving back in the days from
Hmm.
another client who was outside the family, and I know the person had multiple problems and stuff, but they enjoyed a laugh.
Hmm.
That's one
Hmm.
thing. They will brighten. I will brighten up their day by laughing with them,
Hmm.
and they loved it, and they told me, "I really appreciate you. You make me feel good and everything." And so,
Hmm.
but some people, this depends on it. Some of them don't feel like laughing
Hmm.
like
That's
that.
true. That's so true.
Yeah, they're more like because because it can fall into the stage of depression, and that can happen with certain caregivers. It just
Hmm.
depends.
Hmm.
Depends where they at and how strong their situation is.
Do you think there are more caregivers taking care of their families than the other way around, than just caregivers taking care of an elderly woman, an elderly man?
Well, nowadays, people want to probably close to their family,
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible as family.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
because I see if they didn't have family, I'm sure they will just have somebody else that they feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Another question. Family members or caregivers or those receiving care. I just mentioned that, but professional caregivers looking for tips and support. Do you look for tips and support from other caregivers around, and do you share your experiences with them?
You know, it's good to talk to other caregivers because you could get pointers from them too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because they talk to someone would talk to you about XYZ, whatever happened in their family or something like that, and XYZ, whatever happened. Sometimes that's good, but when people interact, when you have somebody that you really that's really trusting, that you can
Mm-hmm.
talk to, because it's good because they're in the field too, and they know how it is with caregiving and stuff. So it's a beautiful thing that we get to share because you can get pointers because you never know what they could share with you, the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, some
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, and that they can give you some nuggets, and that's those nuggets that you can take with you. So you learn for other ones too.
Say I wanted to be a caregiver. Would you walk me through the steps on how I would do that from the beginning to the end?
Yeah, for if somebody wanted to be a caregiver, first of all, you always have to go through whatever the qualifications through the company that you go to. So orientation is number one. A lot of them have orientation, but you will have to go through that orientation, and you will have to listen to whatever they have to say, X, Y, Z, what they have to say about the field, and that, and whatever, and how, because they teach you. Yeah, that's important. If you didn't have that knowledge, you can't report anything. How can you report anything?
And you have to
You have
wait
to
a
have
long
all that
time,
knowledge.
don't you? Don't you have to wait a
Huh?
long time? Was it a long period waiting?
No, mine wasn't too bad. Mine wasn't too bad.
Hmm.
Mine is it just depends on your company and that, you know.
Hmm.
Some of them, yeah, mine wasn't too bad. Some of them it can take up to I mean, serious, to tell you the truth. Some of them it just depends on it. It could take up to 3 months.
Wow.
But some companies will honor to pay back pay. So
Hmm.
that's a good thing. Some of them honor. I don't know. It just depends on your who you go through, because some of them may not even honor those back
Hmm.
pays.
Hmm.
You
Wow.
know. So
And
yeah, it just depends on the company.
are healthcare providers interested in care in the caregiver challenges? Like when you take your person to the your mom to the doctor, do you think they are interested in how you're caregiving your mother?
Yeah, of course. If a caring physician will always ask, say how you are doing at home.
Hmm.
And how's this person she say, oh, I see the person, oh, I see the person, oh, I see she's oh yeah, I see she got you. So
Hmm.
it's just so, of course they want to hear how you doing at home, because that's a responsibility to hear, are you being treated right at home,
Hmm.
and everything, because some people does things wrongfully, in which that's very horrible.
Do they do in-house visits?
In-house visits, oh
The
yes,
physician,
yes, they do in-house
the
visits.
nurses?
A lot of them will do in-house visits. Uh-huh.
Hmm. And the questions they may ask are the same. How are you doing? Do they look over the house where they're living in, where the individual is at, and examine every area where that person is staying? Do they do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they definitely do, because they want to make sure that your clients in a safe environment and everything, because
Hmm.
that's how it is and caregiver. They want to make sure that they're well, their
Mhm.
well being
Mhm.
is fine. You know, some of them
Mhm.
have some of them, it depends on the company, has yearly, they have yearly evaluations.
Mhm.
Where they
Mhm.
revalidation them again, you know, to look over the case and stuff. So some of them, it just depends on where what company you go through,
Mhm.
because companies are different. Different companies are different, and different states are
Mhm.
different.
Mhm. Oh wow. So
But
you.
yeah, but they always, yeah, they just want to make sure that everything's is okay and everything,
Mhm.
in which that's
Mhm.
you know, that's their job to do, to
Mhm.
make sure
Mhm.
everything is safe for your client.
Mhm. And how do they get paid from the companies and from from the state? How do they get paid when they start working?
It depends on your company, but every company it tracks. You have to track. You have to do whatever they say. If it's electronic, you do whatever it says according to. Let's say if they give you probably, I'm just saying to be saying. Let's say if they give you probably about uh 200. I'm just saying to be saying.
Mhm.
Let's say if they give you about 200 hours, right? 2 hour,
Mhm.
but that's a month, right?
Mhm.
So that would be well, how many hours a day, or how many hours a week is it?
Mhm.
Like that,
Mhm.
according to that. That's just I just threw it out there just to
Oh
throw it
yeah.
out there,
Oh
but
yeah. I know.
that's just an example. It just depends on your company because every state is different.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because some states they may still deal with paper.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it depends on your state, but everything, yeah, will be anything you will have to turn in your hours anyway. You have to
Mhm.
turn in your hours because you ain't gonna get paid if you're not turning your hours, and then they have to accept it by your recipient, you know, whoever your client or whatever person,
Now,
you
do
know.
they hold back a week or two, or did they just go outright and pay you?
Oh no, everything is well, it just depends on your state. You know, because some of them could be bi-weekly. Some of
Mhm.
them could be like a week every week.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, maybe every other week. It just depends.
Mhm.
It just
Mhm.
depends on your company. But some of them are bi-weekly.
It seems like an excellent opportunity to work with seniors and people that need help. You know, as a caregiver, that's special to that person that you're helping. You know, and they'll always remember that. I know my niece has been a caregiver for 12 years. She's now in education, and she says she loved it. You know, when she did it, she became connected to the elderly person before that person passed away. So it can be really informative and compassionate, and you too can be part of that family. You know what I'm saying? They have various. I looked up family caregivers, relatives who provide care for family members, often without formal training. Professional caregivers train individuals who provide care as job, include nurses, nursing assistants, and home health aides. Respite caregivers, professionals who temporarily relieve family caregivers to give them a break. Do you have that by any chance, or you just go straight through? Anyone to relieve you, to give you a break, Dolores?
Your responsibility as a caregiver because you're getting paid for it, so you're not getting a break
Okay,
because you know you're getting paid for it.
okay. Well, they have another one here. Palliative caregiving is focusing on providing relief from symptoms and stress of serious illness, often in hospice setting. Companion caregivers often companionship and non-medical support such as conversation and social activities, and there's specialized caregivers, those who uh, those who specific training to care for the individuals with conditions like dementia, Alzheimer's, or developmental disabilities. Those are the type of caregivers that play an essential role in supporting individuals in their various needs. And so yours fall into family caregivers. That's right. Is that correct?
Family, yeah, that's yeah, because it's considered family.
Mm-hmm. Family
Um,
caregivers. Do you know how long that they'll keep you and say that, again, that person was interested? how long they keep you in that position?
Just as long as you're doing your work and the person's still living, you're fine. If not, you just you can go to another client. As long as you have a good record.
Yeah. Can you take more than one client?
Yep. Yes, you can. But
Okay.
it depends. Like I said, with that too, it just depends on your state. We'll just
Okay.
do it like that because I don't know. Other states could be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
They may not. They maybe say you only could take one client,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and some maybe say you can have more than one. So it
Mm-hmm.
depends on the company. With in my state, I can have another client if I wanted to, but no, but it just I'm just saying to be saying if I
Yeah, you're
wanted to.
full time. You're really full time, so you couldn't do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's so those are the types of things that people can look for if they're interested in being a caregiver, which is a wonderful responsibility, a wonderful job. You just don't sit down and talk, you work, because I know you work, fix the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner. Um, do they sometimes, do you have to give them any baths, or can they do their own bath? Does it depend on the person?
Um, it depends on the person's case and that, but
Hmm.
mainly a lot of them, yeah, you would have to help them with that because they can't do that. They
Hmm.
can't get behind their backs. They can't
Hmm.
do that.
Hmm.
So definitely, you will have to help them with that.
Wow.
You have to.
Wow. Well, there you hear it, everyone that's watching us. This is a wonderful discussion on caretakers and what they do and how they help the people, how they help the community. And I think it's should be recognized more and more and more so we can help those that are in those not hospice, in those hospitals. They can come home and family members who are not doing anything, get that are not doing anything, can have the responsibility of taking care of their family. Now, in the old days, my daddy's days, everyone took care of their grandmother, their great grandmother and their grandmother and their great uncle. That was something they had to do, and they did that free of charge because that was family. So now they're able to get finances behind it, and they should want to pick up an extra job, because that is an extra job that they can do from their home. Is that not correct?
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Because with some states didn't, there's some states that didn't honor that. If you had a family member, they won't pay you.
Mm. Wow,
And
I didn't
so
know
it just
that.
depends. It depends on your state. But like I said, that it's beautiful that they open doors for more,
Hmm.
but more. They need to open. I really feel they should open up those doors because if the family wants the family, they have family. It's just like I said, it's a full position job.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's a
And
well-respected job, a
yes,
well-respected. Because myself, I don't know with my lupus, because we talked about lupus. That those of us that have lupus, we have people taking care of us. I know my son is in Denver, or he's flying here, flying there, but he makes sure we have groceries. He makes sure every day he's talking to us, what's going on, Mom, how you doing? He looks at the medications I'm taking, and he has the numbers to all the doctors, so he can talk to them. That's a beautiful thing from your child to get that involved with the parents' health. And I think everyone that has an autoimmune disease should have that kind of counterpart. And if they don't, they should have a friend that they're close to that can help them, or a caregiver that can help them with that. Because when we go into the doctor's office, you know what they say: do you have anyone that can help you? They say that to me all the
yeah,
time when I go in there. So and my brother's living with me, so we both take care of each other. If I'm not feeling good and can't get up out of the bed, he comes in there and asks me, do I need to get you anything? So that's so important to have that extra hand there to give you that kind of help that you need. And I'm so proud of you, Dolores, giving us an opportunity to listen to your caregiving position and telling us the different things about it and walking us through a person that may want a job that does not have a job can get a job. So I don't know if you have any last words before Ed comes online, because it's 12:20. It's 2:29.
One thing too, just say that a caregiver, like I said, it's a blessing that you could to care for somebody, and we have it that you got to be very observant. You know, you have to really pay attention to signs of anything for emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, of course, you do the shoppings and you do all that, but you got to be very, very alert and
Yes.
how they feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And that because sometimes they may not feel good, say they feel good and they're not. You got to really pay attention and just look for signs and all that. That's important, very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And always take copious notes about your about the medication because they lose
Mm-hmm.
their minds, you know, and that
Mm-hmm.
you write down what hour they took it
Mm-hmm.
and that what hour they're supposed to take it again. And that's the best way because when you're on top of that stuff, that's a good thing to do, especially for being a caregiver, or even if you wasn't a caregiver, you know, stuff you should do that anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
that
right.
always take track, always
That's
take
right.
track. And the
That's
more
right.
track, even blood pressure, because some of them, you know, they may have blood pressure problems, so you'll know when to call doctor if it's that they have pressure. They're like, I have a blood pressure thing here too, so I could take vital signs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And so that's the main
Well, that's
thing.
a blessing because, my co-host, she's also my co-host, Dolores Olson, and she's also a professional caregiver. So as our special guest, I hope everyone that's on this line will get on YouTube and review what we just talked about. It's very important. And Dolores, I thank you for being our special guest.
You're welcome.
We're looking for Ed. He's looking right at us.
I feel.
Yep, hello, I'm here. Okay, I'm here. Wait, hold on. My phone has been ringing off the hook. Alrighty. So great topic, great information that you shared, Dolores, and I'm really excited that we get a chance to hear exactly the layout of everything. Caregiving is really important. I think it's one of the most important things to have and be able to share with others and how they can also become good caregivers as well. So, and what the topic that you guys have put together is really going to be informational, and for a lot of people to participate and do the same thing. So we'll be continuing the topic though. It's not going to be the only time we'll be doing it, but we'll have it back on again another topic about that, so that way it can get more in depth and more details and further on along with all the other topics that you guys put together. As we close out the month of March, can you believe that?
Mm.
March is already ending. This is the last week of March. Then we'll be in the month of April, and then we got Lupus Awareness Month in May.
Yes.
So a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that's going on that we want to participate and do. The campaigns, all of the different settings that we set out for everybody to participate with Lupus of Nevada. You guys can always go to the website at lupusofnevada.org. You can also go to the YouTube channel, Lupus of Nevada, and then as well as the Facebook page, Lupus of Nevada. And then you can see everything there. And guys, if you have any questions or inquiries, please feel free to fill out the form online on the website. And of course, we'll be happy to assist you further. Everything now is all about us coming together, building up the communities, and growing as one. So that's the whole purpose of what we do. We do so we can continue to build it across the country as well as around the world. So, any last thoughts, ladies?
I just thank her for being on board.
Indeed.
I
Yes,
thank
indeed.
God for it.
Yep. Thank you, Dolores, for sharing your expertise and information that you've been sharing here with Lupus Talks. So we thank you for
You're
that.
very welcome.
Any last thoughts for you?
Uh, this could continue to be a blessing to one another, and it'll come back to you.
Amen.
Amen.
Love
Amen.
that. I love that. That's right. And we'll come back to you. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great afternoon, great evening. Until next week, we'll keep the faith and keep building the dream, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye for now.
Bye bye.
Bye.